Hi guys, back again with me Austin from Abba Avoid Heart. Today I'm going to share with you my experience on Hasbro Star Wars the Vintage Collection line. 3/4 inch. This is Power Droid and this is a Poe Dameron. Okay, Poe Dameron is kind of a repack from the old Walmart exclusive Black Series. I'll show you the box later on. Okay, so yeah, the main focus will be more on this guy, but yeah. Well, we'll take a look on him as well, and of course we'll compare with the old version. This is the old version. Focus. Okay, and we'll see what's the difference, and maybe I'll throw in some comparison a little bit on the BB-8s that I have and several droids, and we'll see. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry I haven't been able to post any videos for quite a while now. I think 1 month maybe. Things have I've been dealing with a lot of things, but anyway, let's take a look at the packaging first. Right now, here's our standard, the vintage, collection line packaging. Sorry guys, I'm not really on card guy. Anyway, we'll see Poe Dameron first. It's based on the Rise of Skywalker, so I like the artwork here. Actually, the face looks nice. We'll look into more focus later on. Let me see which number this is. This is VC 160. Okay, so remember this is VC 160, and then yeah, well, you can see all the other characters here. Okay, that's about it, I guess. Yeah, and here's Power Droid, something, or you may call it Gonk. The artwork, I heard, is kind of a retooling of the 2012 Power Droid 3-pack. 3-pack from the 3-pack, but I don't have that. So hey, let's focus on the new guy. This is VC 167. All right, so you can see behind all the other figures, and without further ado, let's take a closer look at these two figures, shall we? Alright, let's start with Poe first. Okay, so this is the new one, this is the old one. Alright, and as you can see, the apparent difference, which is very visible, is the face, of course, because this is the newer one has been equipped or produced with the photoreal technology, and as you can see, it's actually a good choice, right? It's a good decision. Hasbro is actually learning something, and especially you can see the life, kind of a life shining from the eyes, which is awesome, right? The old one here, at that time it wasn't that bad. I couldn't remember whether I had to fix the eye, but at that time some of the releases were really bad, but even then the mold is actually not bad. Okay, let me see if I can find any major differences. One thing that I note though, if you see here, then in the old figure below here, you will see kind of a shade of blacks throughout. It's kind of his facial hair is not really visible on the new figure. Okay, so I don't know whether this is based on a newer scan or anything, but yeah, I thought it's a good touch on the older one. Okay, and you can always add that yourself if you want to, I guess. All right, let me check whether I can find any other differences, which is very apparent. I felt that the glove here is more shiny and somewhat deeper black than this, but I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure with that. Okay, because the right one seems the same. Okay, this is the new one. Come again. Okay, and then what else can we see? Oh, it still have the same features here. The device, you can take it out. It is actually plugged into pack holes, and it's very flexible, and you can see that it's molded here. So yeah, no way to remove it. Well, you can, but you gotta do something with it, right? This part of the jumpsuit, this part is still floating around. Most of the details are pretty much similar, right? I hope it's visible because it seems that it might be a bit too bright on the videos later on, but the small details, all the molds. By the way, I've already shared this guy before in my previous videos like years ago. You can check it out and see if you can find anything interesting there. But other than that, it's pretty much the same figure. Okay, nothing much of a different. Right? They actually fixed the paint on this one, on the strap, as you can see. It's all full gray, whereas this one, yeah, it's probably on my figures only, but yeah, just to point it out. Oh, another thing is the small pocket here. Let me get my pointer. The newer one seems to have a kind of a deeper or darker pink, whereas this one is very much light pink, right? The blaster, though, let's check the blaster. This is the old one. It's already in the holster. Okay, and then this is the newer one. Pretty much the same. Oops, pretty much the same. No differences. Okay, again, this is the new one. Solid but still rubbery, so you don't have to worry. For the sake of the new collectors, let's just try this. Yeah, you can grip it nice, okay, and it won't drop. And most importantly, I feel that the older one is less rubbery compared. Nah, they're the same. Sorry about that. And then we can just put it in the holster. I love it. I love the fact that we have the holster, otherwise sometimes it's troublesome to keep this small blaster. And it works fine, okay? It won't drop. Alright, let's see the difference with the helmet, which is quite crucial. Let me check. I can see the differences already. This is the newer one, okay? This is the newer one, this is the older one. And I'm not sure whether this was only on mine, the older helmet, but I felt that the, what do you call it, the visor? This actually, well, we'll see, okay? There's a problem with the visor. And I felt that when I hold it like this and feel it, it seems that the newer one is slightly bigger. Okay, it's still somewhat rubbery, but this one is more solid. Okay, more solid, as you can see. What else? The paint. The most noticeable difference is the red being used here. Okay, the red here is more like darker red, which is, but then this one is kind of a brighter red and shinier as well. Okay, other than that, yeah, all right. Now, I want to point out the difference when using it. Let's see. Okay, this is the older one. Let's put it on the older one. So what happened was, as you can see there, the visor part, please correct me if I mention it wrong, but you know what I mean, right? This is the kind of the visor part. Doesn't really rest nicely on the eyes, on the figure's eyes, okay? It's a bit weird, in fact, but the new one here, it actually sits nicely on the eyes, as you can see, right? As you can see here, the visor here doesn't really sit nicely on the eyes. The one here, really the goggles, is it the goggles? The goggle part really sits on the head, sorry, on the eyes nicely. It's covered the eyes nicely. So I think it's a good improvement as well that they actually do this. Of course, this might be a faulty on my figure alone. So, but if you get the newer one, it's already fixed anyway. Okay. along with the head. Alright, so now for the articulation, for the sake of the new collectors, okay, the head is on ball joint, so you can move down that much, move up, side to side, full rotation. As usual, the arms, you have this joint which allow us to move up that much and then move to the back. You can see the hinge there. You have full rotation, of course, and then the elbow. Let's see, where's the elbow? Come on. Okay. We have, I'm not sure this is the right bend, okay? Let me figure it out first. All right. You can bend the elbow this much, and then you can fully rotate it. It's not a 90-degree bend, but yeah, that's okay, I guess. You can turn the wrist 360, and then I believe there's a hinge there, so you can move down and you can, not moving up. Let's see the other one. It doesn't really have trigger finger. It seems to be a trigger finger, but I'm not sure, okay, because it's more like a gripping hand, but it grips the blaster nicely. Then we have, do we have? Yes, we do. Okay, it does have side to side ball joint on the torso. Okay, it's stuck up to this much, probably because of this. Not really, yeah, but hey, you're not gonna do that, right? By the way, I like the insignia is kind of a bright black. Yeah, it's also bright black on the older one, so that's not a different. The leg is you have the hinge, but also connected to the top there. Well, it is, so you can actually move this up and then use the hinge to do a split, like this. Okay, and then you can rotate on the top there. Let me see whether I can rotate it fully. Yep, you can. So you can adjust the rotation plus the hinge to do kind of a sitting position, because you will need it. You will need that to sit him on the, what do you call that? On his plane. Okay. All right. Anyway, that's the joint on the thigh. On the knee, we have a knee band. And then rotation is quite tight. Down here we have, all right, we have downward motion on the ankle. Upward that much. We have full rotation. All right, so that's pretty much it with Poe. Now we come to the start of the show, right? It's cool, I think. It's a simple droid, not really simple. You can see a lot of details here and there. I like the weathering here. Not sure whether it's actual weathering or it's just sloppiness on paint, but probably paint job, yeah. It's an actual weathering. As you can see the weathering there, the weathering there. Why? Anyway, solid. I like the small decals there. It's very neat. Yeah, you can see all the dirts here and there, the dirts. Okay, and then you can see the molded details. I like the silver parts here. And by the way, this seems to be rubbery, but I'm not sure. Okay, better be careful. All right, better be careful. And then, yeah, with all the molds, the cablings, it actually feels nice. You can see the little details on the grids there. And then the feet, they actually have peg holes. Very interesting. It is attached to these cables, which is a bit too thin. I think we gotta be careful with this also. Right, then it has one gimmick, which is Alright, you can actually take it out easily, just like that. No strength, particular strength required. And I love what you can see inside. Again, it's solid. You can see the hardware. I like the silver paints here and there, the small details. Okay, especially here as well. You can see the small details. Yep. And not only that, we do actually have articulation. Okay. So as you can see with the legs here, you have kind of a, so you can see the hinge there. You can actually move it down like that. And then move it, you can see the hinge, move it up that much. It's actually not bad. So you can do kind of a running position, or again, be careful with the cables. Sometimes I'm just too worried. We do have a rotation. I think it's supposed to be a full rotation, but be careful with the cables. And by the way, your movement is being held by the other foot anyway. And then we also have kind of you see the, I'm not sure, you can see there inside, I think there's a bit of movement there. Yep, I guess. So as you can see, you can move it like that. So not only the ankle, but actually the feet moves. Yeah. Is it kind of a, oh, that's the joint. So you can see the hinge there, the hinge. So I bet it might probably come with the rotation as well, but most of the time we'll probably rotate it here because we have not much room to grip. Okay, but you know what you have there, right? You know what you get. It's okay. By the way, that's where the cable go into. Okay, better be careful. But you know that you can make cute poses, I guess. That's good. It's not that bad. Right, at least I think you can get this much for the vintage collection line. So that's really cool and appreciated. I like this better than the clicking blade joints. This is more preferable for me personally. Alright, again. Alright, before I measure this, guys, I just want to share some BB-8s, some baby droid, which perhaps you want to get to accompany this Poe, which is cool. Okay, Hasbro has released several BB droids, not limited to this three, but these are the three that I have from Hasbro for this scale. I actually have another one BB-8, which is based on the animated Resistance, which is kind of cute and cool as well, but I'll probably share it another time. But today let's have two BB-8s and one BB-9E, which is the BB droid version of Empire's version of the, sorry, not the Empire, the First Order's version. Okay, let's just quickly check the BB-9E first. What I like from this droid is that it served the purpose. Okay, yes, it doesn't have any gimmicks which you can open and then you can put on the arms or something, the tools, but it works. Okay, for now is good enough. I think you do have a bit of kind of a stick sticking out, which you can allow to move the head, and you do also have a kind of a ball joint on top connected to the neck. Okay, and you can actually have a full rotation, so that's good, right? And then I like the molded details. Okay, I believe this is not the only BB-9E, but this is good enough actually for the scale, right? The paint, right? The details of the mold. And then what's cool about this droids was that on the bottom you can feel that some of the portion is actually flat. It's actually to help us to stand this figure so that it will stand, oops, it will stand easily and you can have a good display without worrying, right? This is a 2 BB-8. Well, I read somewhere there are a bit of differences on this 2 BB-8. How do we recognize that? Is by looking, let me move it facing this way, at the bottom there. Okay, as you can see, one is having the big hole, and then you can see the flat surface is actually bigger than this one. Okay, what I read is that this was actually released first, and it's actually not bad. It's kind of brighter, shinier, with all the molded details. Okay, still have the same articulation with BB-9E. You have your neck, and then you have the ball joint on top. Okay, and then you can have full rotation. So that's good enough, isn't it? For now. Of course, one day hopefully we can have one version which comes with the tools. Okay, but for now it's sufficient. And then yeah, again the flat surface so that you can stand it up easily. Now this one is kind of dirtier. It's not as shiny. In fact, it's a bit more matte. But what I felt with this one is it's actually a bit heavier than this one. So remember, the one with the pack hole is the heavier one. Then yeah, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. Again, the molded detail is nice. You can see all the molded details. It doesn't have any tools, but the articulation is somewhat the same. But I felt that the range of the movement, depending on the holes there, right, is actually bigger. That may be just me, but I felt that way. A bit dirty on the top, as you can see. You have rotation as well on the neck, but on this one you don't really get a range of movement from the ball joint on the neck, but that's okay, right? And yeah, it's actually heavier. So yeah, so you can have your options with the BB-8. Right, to scale them up, okay, just for the sake of scaling, is roughly almost 4" with the helmet on, yeah. Okay, which is kind of standard. So just a bit, maybe around 10 centimeters. Whereas this guy is to the top of the kind of antenna device is roughly about 6.5, more than 6.5, or almost more than 2.5 inch. But to the top here, if you want to measure it that way, it actually stands 2.5 inch. All right, so that's with the measurement. Good thing is they stand up really well, easily. Okay, just quickly, I'm not going to compare with this guy with some other figures. I already did it with the old one. Where's the old one? It's the old one, pretty much similar with the helmet, right? But yeah, let's just compare some of the special droid to this guy. Okay, so that's how 3CPU compares to it. And then let's see, Jawas. How about Jawas? This is the smaller Jawas, the 2-pack. Was it a 2-pack Black Series Jawas? Yes. And then maybe add in Chewbacca if you want to. Oops. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes accident happen, but hey, we're just having fun, right? Okay, so yeah, overall I really like this Power Droid. Okay, oh yeah, this is the new one. I think it serves its purpose. I always like any droid that we have been given. I appreciate all the droids that we can have. And yeah, I love the fact that we still have articulation on the legs. Okay, sorry about that. And I think it will be a good addition to your collection, whether it's still mint on card or whether you can open it. The update of photoreal on Poe is good. If you haven't got him yet and you want to either open it or collect him mint on card, it's also a good figure. I think that's the only, so far is the only release with the vintage card as well. But it's already come with the photoreal technology on the face, which is cool. Alright. So thanks guys for watching until the end. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share. And you can always catch me on Instagram and contact me there. Ciao.